Great to be here with LFI. This is Eric Miller, CEO, CTO of Avi-on Labs. We're a leading Bluetooth mesh-based wireless lighting control platform here in North America. Want to start by just introducing a couple of exciting new things that are happening for us. One is that we're introducing a whole line of sensors that integrate directly into our fixture controllers. And so this gives unprecedented ease and simplicity and low cost to integrate sensors into fixtures, really of all types, even if they weren't designed to be integrated from the beginning. We have a PIR motion sensor, a microwave sensor for high bay applications, warehouses, offices, various sizes, outdoor, a full array of sensor options that integrate, again, designed to integrate directly into our controllers, and that speeds commissioning, lowers cost, and really hits some very disruptive price and ease of commissioning points. The second thing I wanted to feature is that some of you may not know that the DLC, which is a Design Lights Consortium, which is the entity that approves lights and controls for qualification for energy efficiency rebates. Generally, in most states in the country and utilities, you can't qualify for a rebate with a system unless you have DLC rating. That rating, starting in 2020, required, for control systems, a full third-party security review to be conducted. We have just finished our review. We did it with UL. It's a standard called UL 1376. And we achieved a platinum rating, which is the highest rating that UL has ever given to any not just lighting controls, but any IoT platform ever. So we're super excited, super proud that we built our system to be highly secure from the beginning, and something that corporate environments and IT managers can be very confident in. And now we have the stamp of UL saying it's the best they've ever seen. Security plays a central role in our entire strategy and architecture, in every aspect of every product, hardware, software, everything we do. And I think our UL platinum security rating, demonstrates the achievement of that. We think of really two kinds of security. One is, I would say, kind of IT security. Can a kind of corporate environment be comfortable that an Avi-on system is going to be secure, not subject to hacking, not be a place that the hacker could use to get into other systems? And again, our UL Platinum rating, I think, demonstrates amply that we're just really by far the strongest in the industry in that regard. I think the other gets to, as you mentioned, interoperability. Candidly, we are cautious about what devices are allowed onto our system. We welcome and have many third-party devices, dozens of third-party devices on our system, but we do require them to go through a review and audit, and generally we're collaborating on the firmware development, so we have a very deep knowledge of the device itself and the code that's going on it, so that when we do let it on our system, we're confident in it, and we have a very rigorous multi-stage testing and validation process before any device actually can get on our system. So we're very open, and we work with a lot of third parties on devices. But generally, it's a close collaboration with careful auditing and testing, as opposed to just go give it a try and we'll see what happens. I'd say that probably the number one reason people install our controls is for energy savings. And when we get up every morning, that's really at the end what our system does. Obviously, it provides control for people and all, but really the end goal of that is to save energy while still having a great light experience for people using the facility, whether that's residential or commercial. And so we, it's really what we're about. And so when we think about, we do integrating sensors and schedules and other features into the system, what that's all really about is how to easily, we boil it down to something very simple. People want the lights on when they want them on, and off when they don't care. That's pretty much what it's all about. And so that's really what it's a complex system, a lot of technology, but that's the bottom line. What it's doing is, if you're in a space and you want to use that space, you want the lights on and make sure they turn on conveniently, and And when you're not in the space, that's an opportunity to save energy. So if you walk out of a room for 30 minutes or overnight or for a week or for whatever, that's a chance for us in the system to go reduce the intensity of those lights or turn off those lights and save energy. And we find the controls, let's say in a commercial, like a warehouse environment, can save 50 to 80% of the energy compared to not having controls. The DLC, Design Light Consortium, that certifies efficient lighting and controls, has done a number of studies, and they've estimated around 60% energy savings coming from advanced controls. Through the LED transition, more and more LEDs are already, being installed. And so as we look forward in time and ask ourselves, how are we going to save more energy? Because utilities still have incentives. There's still a great opportunity and interest in saving more energy from lighting. It's basically going to come from controls. LEDs make a dramatic improvement. New LEDs are better than old LEDs. There's still continuous improvement there, but the biggest jump in savings you can get from here on out is actually going to come from the control system itself. And so 5 years from now, we're not going to be talking a lot about LED retrofits. We're going to be talking all about controls, because that's when we're talking about energy savings. So COVID has, like all businesses, had an impact, and I think most people a mixed impact. So, certainly people are spending less time in offices. However, that's often giving the office managers an opportunity to go in and do updates that they've been wanting to do anyway. That's particularly, I think, the case in schools we're seeing. So a lot of people are seizing the opportunity to upgrade facilities, do new lighting controls. An area that COVID drove us to do that really is having great benefits all around is that it really drove us to finish out our roadmap for remote commissioning more quickly. We were already working on it, but it really drove us to accelerate that so that we can now fully commission, audit, manage, diagnose projects without ever setting foot in the building. And so that's actually a great thing overall. That's always a helpful thing, but in COVID, it's been a particularly helpful thing because we can work on projects that might not be open because the facilities aren't open. So that's actually been, it pushed us in a very positive direction. We're doing quite a bit with UVC lighting. So there's some new markets that are now, people are looking at putting UVC lighting into much larger spaces, schools, airports, lots of places. And so we're finding our control system really fits well and is a great application for that. And that's driving some new NFL locker rooms, all sorts of things. So we're finding some good success from that. It can be challenging. Obviously, the business interruption that affects all of this can be challenging, but in general, we're seeing it, just drive the value of having things like remote commissioning and remote diagnostics, which our system is particularly good at. Some exciting things we're just announcing. It's actually been installed for over a year and a half. We've done the majority of the move-in, move-out lighting in the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, which is actually the largest convention center in North America. So in partnership with Illumination Lighting, that's been going great. It's been installed for, as I said, almost a year and a half now. We also have a number of projects that are finished, but we're still working through kind of press release approvals. We have done some large hospitals, a number of large office buildings, manufacturing, automotive and high-tech manufacturing facilities. We continue to have a number of projects with pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities and outdoor things like parking lots. There's a press release that have Waters Creek, which is a large mall in Texas, where we've done all the outdoor lighting for that facility, both parking garages and outdoor lighting, covering an area of several thousand acres without any gateways or other type of backhaul networking equipment, just point-to-point communications. So a lot of projects going on all the time. We're actually doing a color changing, we have a project installation doing color changing for circadian rhythm in a neonatal ICU unit in a major hospital. So a lot of really cool stuff, happening. We've actually had residential lighting controls in the market since our inception with GE products, which are still available in some cases in Home Depot and other places. A couple of years ago, we transitioned our residential market in a partnership with Cooper Halo Home. So if you're familiar with the Halo Home Cooper platform, which is now over a dozen lighting products, switches, wall stations, Alexa, at Google Home, that whole platform is actually run by and built on the Avi-on system. So it's actually a version of the Avi-on mobile app, our cloud, many of our devices. So when you see Halo Home, that's actually Avi-on in the residential market. Obviously, Cooper designing and building a lot of their own devices. They're building the majority of their own devices, but that's our system. And so at this point, that's our primary offering. We're not trying to build an Avi-on brand in residential. There are residential projects done with our products, but I would say the Avi-on brand is focused on the commercial sector and products primarily, and the Halo Home Cooper is really the residential embodiment of Avi-on at this point. We're really excited about our sensors. They represent kind of a new way of designing and installing projects and fixtures, and allow very, very competitive and very, very easy to design. And so for a fixture manufacturer, and someone purchasing these, they're low cost, they're simple, they're reliable, they're easy to install in a wide variety of fixtures without custom engineering. From a designer perspective, what it means is that the design process becomes greatly simplified, because instead of having to do a detailed lighting design and decide on the location of your sensors, you can actually, from a number of manufacturers we partner with, you can simply purchase fixtures pre-integrated with Avi-on sensors all ready to go. And then when you get into the facility, you can designate which sensors you're going to use in different applications and different areas. And that's all done with software programming. It can all be done very quickly and easily, even remotely. And so as a designer, you can just say, Avi-on, how many fixtures, add the controls, and you're done. You actually don't have to worry about designs or one-lines or gateways or backhauls or all the kind of stuff you used to have to worry about. So it's extremely easy to design and also very competitive cost, because it's such a simple system. But you're not giving up the kind of programming capability to give a really high quality lighting experience and a very highly energy efficient lighting experience, which allows you to qualify for the highest levels of rebates. And also, there are things like when you walk into a room, people don't necessarily want the fixture nearest to turn on, but the ones around them or across the room in an open office to be off. That's what we call a popcorn ceiling, where lights are just on based on who stood under them in the last 15 minutes. What we can do is we can still have that fully networked environment where you walk into a room or a parking garage or a hallway and all the lights turn on, really promoting security and having the lighting system really be a comfort and a benefit to you, while still achieving all that energy efficiency and without having to do any upfront design. A lot of fixture companies that are partnering with Avi-on and offering pre-integrated packages with almost every type of fixture now could be purchased with an Avi-on capabilities already installed. And so that's making it really easy to buy and specify, because you can, in many cases, get it even directly from a fixture manufacturer. So if there's someone somebody is used to using, odds are pretty good that they can just order that with Avi-on now, and just through their normal channels and their normal agent relationships, can one way or another probably just say, sure, here it goes. So it's becoming easy to buy, easy to install, and you can really specify a whole project if you can get pretty much all the type of fixtures you might need in compatible with Avi-on already.